Welcome everyone. I am Raghu Pargava, the CEO of Global Upside. We're a finance, accounting, and HR outsourcing company. We provide these services in a little over 60 countries today.
My name is Tom Bremer. I'm one of the principals at VPTax. We're a Northern California-based firm providing outsourced tax services, fractional tax services for technology and life science companies.
So I'm Tia Waldron, and I'm the International Controller for Enphase Energy up in Petaluma. We are an inverter company, so it's with the part of the solar panel industry.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ram Srinivasan. I'm a venture partner with Wellington Partners, which is a Munich-based venture capital firm. I'm also the chair of the steering committee with the German Accelerator, which is based in Palo Alto, which is helping startups come to the Valley and imbibe Valley culture, if you will.
I'm Jim Chapman. Welcome everybody to our fantastic San Francisco offices. I'm a partner at Bingham, and for 27 years I've been representing emerging technology companies and the angels, venture capitalists, and private equity groups that back them. When I was a younger lawyer many years ago, a typical company had $20, $30 million in revenue, and then they thought, okay, we'll go to Europe. That completely went out the window since the early 2000s in the advent of globalization, and so now it's very typical that as I was talking to one of my friends out here, there may be 2 or 3 people in a startup, and one's from another country, and they got development going on in Central Europe or in Israel, or they're doing something in China, and all of a sudden they're an international company and are bootstrapped, and so they have lots of complexity and challenges they don't even know they have.
How are you going to go establish your presence, and how are you going to hire the right people and stuff? Because that can become a problem.
What I was referring to was employee partners. How do you hire your first employee in a new country? What are the characteristics of that employee? And it can't be someone who's just operationally really good. He has to have a communication channel that is really, really friction-free.
Corporate has got to control what is occurring from a tax standpoint, and that gets into the accounting, the transactions, the legal. Everything kind of comes to a head in the tax world, because if there's not common thread coming from the U.S. or coming from headquarters, it can get distorted very quickly. I mean, I've worked with a number of situations where we have local people doing the accounting and finance and tax in these jurisdictions, and they report to somebody outside of the normal chain, and we can't get information, and we can't assure compliance, so that when this thing comes back to roost in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, when the government comes in to ask questions, we have no support.
We can sell to most of Europe out of France because culturally it's acceptable. But what we did do then is hire salespeople as independent contractors in the countries that would allow that, where we don't have presence in those countries, so we can still legally have those sales claimed for tax purposes in France. And so culturally, to the companies that are buying in the other countries, it looks like, we're there.
The tools are extremely important, whether it's Skype or whatever it is you're using for collaboration. See the people, you're just never going to bond with them. You're never going to understand their pain. Likewise, they don't understand your pain. And I think overall, above all of this, coffee helps. Because you just have to work long hours, and there's no excuse around it. You can't get around, when you have a global setup, and we'll just take Enphase as an example, Western Europe to China to Australia and New Zealand. We have operations in 60 countries. Somebody's always working. You meet a client and they say, I need this tomorrow morning. You stay up and tell somebody in France to do it tonight.
When someone says yes in Japan, they don't mean yes like you and I would mean yes. They mean, yes, I heard what you said. In China is different. In China, it's a contract is a tool to build a relationship.
Thanks everybody for attending. Obviously, we're all service providers other than Tia, who's a service consumer here. And so if you guys need help, feel free to reach out to one of us.